Hi, John.
Looks like our slime trees are thriving.
Yeah, but I can't bounce on them. Why can't I bounce on them? You promised me bouncing. You know what? I'm digging down from the top so I can bounce. There we go. I can bounce now. Come on, bounce. Nope, that just hurt me. There we go. Oh, I guess it doesn't work with the jetpack.
So that horrible suffering that we're hearing has been going on for quite some time.
You built a coffin.
Oh yeah.
Why did you build a coffin in the middle of base camp?
Well, we found out that the zombies will only spawn when there's a player nearby. So I just stayed logged in, completely encased myself, and just let the zombies die.
That's horribly cruel.
As a result, I got 1,000,000 life points in my blood orb.
Oh, wow, you've been busy. I haven't seen this thing up here.
Oh yeah. It doesn't look like much yet, because I am going to make a sigil that will help me build on the underside.
Ah, okay.
But
Yikes. This thing looks like my Ars Magica altar, but way more intimidating.
this is the
Bloodstone.
tier 4 altar.
Yikes.
One more tier is the final one.
That's a lot of runes of self-sacrifice you have just hanging around here.
Yeah, those are actually necessary to drain enough blood to get that blood orb that I failed to get the first time. That was what I was missing, was those runes of self-sacrifice. They up the amount of blood you get every time you hurt yourself.
Sure. Okay. Why not?
I believe the final tier will go out another 2 blocks from each side.
Oh my gosh. This thing's huge.
Yeah.
Yikes.
It opens up a whole new world of blood magic. I don't know where to start.
Well, I would suggest in a blood bank, but
There's
no,
one more thing over here that I worked on.
Oh.
I took the ruined tower over here and
Oh.
plopped a ritual on top.
What the hell is this? You built Stonehenge?
This is called the Ritual of Binding.
Binding what?
Lots of different things. I made a couple of tools off screen. I actually recorded that so I can show a flashback here or something.
Okay. Master
I made a bound sword and an energy blaster. It normally just looks like a red blob.
Yeah. That's what it looks like to me.
You shift right click and it turns into a bound blade.
Oh.
Which does a bunch of damage and drains my life to use.
Okay.
But, the special thing about the sword is it causes mobs to drop blood shards, which is what I need for a lot of the higher tier stuff.
Oh, so
like
you
that
have
altar.
Okay, so you have to kill them with. Why is the pipe giving off light? Blood doesn't glow.
Yeah, I think that's just the hole in the floor. I don't think the blood altar blocks the light.
Okay. Maybe that's what it is. Because, I mean, that's creepy. Like energized blood or something. Gross.
The energy blaster looks the same before you activate it. When you activate it, it shoots out like 3
Oh my gosh!
projectiles
It looks like... Look, have you seen the little image of it? It looks like a... What the hell was that?
They explode on impact.
Oh my god! That is terrifying.
but it doesn't destroy terrain, so I can use it freely.
Thank God for that. But that's scary. Jeez. Some crazy ranged crap going on there. But it looks like a Nerf gun. Like, it looks like a Nerf
Yeah,
gun or a
kinda.
water gun. Obviously does a little bit more damage than a Nerf gun, though. So what does that use? Blood?
Yep.
But it's an energy blaster. Why the hell would it use? Whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, all the bound stuff, when you activate it, it constantly drains a little bit of blood over time.
Okay.
And then it also uses blood for each use.
I gotcha. So you really have to have a lot of stockpile of this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's just gross. I mean, it's nifty, but it's gross.
But that's
And how,
everything I've been working on.
that doesn't seem like a short amount of stuff. Jesus, this must have taken you ages to build this platform up in the sky.
Oh yeah. I just throwing a whole bunch of cobblestone into that redstone furnace over there.
I bet. Well, I've actually been a little bit busy myself. If you come over this way back to the robot's gotten an upgrade. It still freaks me out that when you fly, it sounds like lava. Why don't you just hop on top of the robot's head here? I've got a nice big landing platform for you now. But he has a hand. Slowly, he's going to make his way towards this castle.
Yeah, we've seen the hand before. I don't think there was anything on it.
Yeah, I just built up the structure of it. For now, it's actually doing some automated farming for me. So if you want to pop over here. Here in the middle is actually a tesseract, and this is new.
Oh.
A tesseract teleports items, energies, and fluids between two linked tesseracts, okay? Or really infinitely linked tesseracts. You set a frequency, and if you hold your cursor over it and use Wayla, you'll see that this is set to frequency 100. And it's currently set to send items, fluids, or energy, but it will only receive items or energy if it comes back. The really interesting thing about this, though, is it's powering everything over here without having to have a permanent link back to the robot, back to the base. And there you can actually see some cotton going down in top, and then it just goes away, right? It just disappears.
Uh-huh.
It's going to another tesseract, and that tesseract is picking it up and putting it into a different system. It's great for long distance movement of items, because otherwise it might take hundreds of pipes to get items from here all the way back to where I want them. And I would have to have these little guys. You see the little spot loader on top here? This
Oh
thing
yeah.
yeah. This is the thing that's making your computer hate itself when you start the server. This keeps this chunk, just this chunk, permanently loaded, and this is important. If the chunk goes unloaded and items are in a pipe and they try to go into a tesseract, it will freak out and break, and it will get stuck inside of the pipe, and then nothing else will work anymore. I discovered this the hard way when I was wondering why my farms weren't working. But as far as the farms that we have here, we have a rubber tree farm for rubber and rubber wood and rubber saplings. We have a glowstone crop farm because getting glowstone is a pain in the ass and it's not sustainable. So magical crops lets you grow glowstone. So I made a dedicated farm to it. To the left of that is a dedicated farm of just essence dust, because essence, again, is necessary for a lot of magical crop stuff, and there's a couple other things that are a real pain to make sustainable without magical crops, and I'm going to want to use it, but they're pretty high tier. And lastly, over here, we have a cotton farm. And the nice thing about the cotton farm is all it does is it plucks the cotton off these plants. It never destroys the plants. So I don't even need a planter. Like all these other ones, there's a planter underneath, and there's even more pipes and more wires to get the seeds and the saplings back into over there, so it plants it again. Over here, I just had to plant them one time, keep them watered with the sprinkler system here, and it will pick any ripe cotton the moment it's available, which gives me more or less on-demand string and wool.
Very nifty.
Yeah, the thing is, they've been running a little bit long because don't tell anyone, but I left on the nuclear reactor, and all my fuel is gone, and all my power is gone. But the last time I had a chance to check, I had somewhere in the ballpark of 10,000 wood and 2,000 cotton and over
Wow.
1,000 glowstone. So I made a mistake and forgot to turn off the nuclear reactor, which is a problem because I need power to get to the computer to get more fuel, but the computer is currently unpowered because I don't have any power. So,
Have you used up all that storage we got from our adventures?
yeah. Well, sort of. I mean, it's not totally full yet, but it's partitioned out so that I can fill it. That 64K storage is going to hold a lot of material. In fact, I want to say it can hold 64 stacks of a single item. No, more than that. 64 squared. I don't know. It can hold a ton of items. Um, it's not even halfway full yet, and I think most of my ores and plants and everything else are on that drive. But before I head out, A, I'd like to skip the night, but then B, I need to solve my power problem. Luckily, I have a few wind turbines that are. Actually, I can show something else before I go and do that. But I have a few wind turbines that are. Oh, there you are. That are offshore that I should be able to go and get. Also, I don't remember, but did we show off what happened to the oil spout? I don't remember that we did.
Yeah, that happened when I failed making my blood orb.
Yeah. So John forgot apparently that trying to do blood magic really pisses off the world and summoned a thunderstorm, which then struck the oil spout and now has left me with a infinite pyre fire, which will never.
Hello?
Although this brings us to this little nifty offshore platform over here. Um, this is the next step in ore automation. So yeah, you can actually stand on this, believe it or not. I didn't think you could, but you can. Um, so I had already showed you how to triple ores, and that wasn't, or no, sorry, yeah, how to triple ores, and that wasn't too bad. You know, that was actually pretty realistic. It didn't take too many machines. You can go further though. You can quadruple ores, and in fact, you can even quintuple ores. This system is currently set up to quadruple ores. If you come down here, um, this big structure is a salination plant. And a salination plant is filled with water, which is being pumped out from over here. And it takes a lot of pumps to fill up this thing because it holds a lot of water. It currently is holding, in fact, 704 buckets of water. But it takes water, and using these solar panels here up at the top during the day, it heats up this entire unit and converts it exposes the water to heat and condenses it down into brine. Um, the brine is in this tank right now and in an internal buffer, but that goes through a chemical infuser that breaks it down into hydrogen gas and chlorine gas, which then can be recombined into hydrogen chloride gas. Um, you might also know of HCl as hydrochloric acid. The gas then gets used in the chemical injection chamber along with a metal, an ore, so an ore block that you would normally in vanilla just smelt into an ingot, goes inside of the chemical injection chamber, sorry. Using the hydrochloric gas, it turns those into 4 shards. Those shards then can go through the previous process I showed you with the purification chamber and the enrichment chamber and the crusher and the smelter to eventually turn into a single ingot. So you get 4 shards, which then get eventually milled down enough to a full ingot, which lets you get 4 ingots to 1 ore at the cost of more power, because each of these need power and need gas and need the brine and everything else. But this is all renewable resources. The ore, obviously, not really. So it gets you more for your money. And there is a way to make this go even further to get 5 ore, or 5 ingots per an ore, which is a whole nother process all on its own, which is why this platform is so big.
Sounds complicated.
It gets worse, but yes, it is complicated. Also, it's worth noting each of these blocks you're looking at took 8 copper ingots to make. So this salination plant is no joke, somewhere around 300 copper ingots worth of material. No, I think it's actually more than that. It might be close to 500 now. This used to be only half the size. But it's useful, but it is complicated.
Well, we may be past the point of needing this then, but my next plan for the ritual of binding was to make the pickaxe. I
Um,
can show off how this works real quick.
sure.